The evening sun bled gold across the dusty plains, turning every ridge of the desert into fire. The small town of Dust Creek lay silent except for the lazy whir of the windmill and the echo of boots on wooden boards. Clara May, the widow's young niece, arrived that day on a wagon that looked more tired than she was. She clutched her small travel case, her heart pounding as she stepped off the wagon near McCoy's general store. She had never seen so much open land, or so many men staring her way. Her Aunt Evelyn, a woman known around town as the Iron Widow, ran the Silver Spur Ranch since her husband's death. Clara had come to live with her, sent from the city after her mother passed. But the first thing Clara noticed wasn't her aunt's ranch. It was the two tall cowboys leaning against the post outside the store. They looked carved out of the land itself, all dust, leather, and sunburnt strength. One was broad-shouldered with a scar over his brow, the other leaner, with green eyes that held a teasing danger. "Evening, miss," the scarred one said, tipping his hat. "You lost." Clara shook her head quickly. "No, sir. I'm looking for Mrs. Evelyn Hart. She's my aunt." At that, the lean cowboy whistled low. "So you're the city niece we heard about, the widow's little flower." "I beg your pardon," she frowned. The scarred cowboy chuckled. "Easy there, sweetheart. Name's Colt Ryder. That's my brother Cash. We work your aunt's north pasture." Colt extended his hand, rough, warm, and heavy with calluses. Clara hesitated before shaking it. Her gloved hand swallowed whole. Cash grinned. "Hope you ain't scared of a little dirt, Miss Hart. Ain't much lace and perfume out here." "I can manage just fine," Clara said, trying to sound braver than she felt. As she turned to leave, Cash's low voice followed. "We'll see about that, darling. Dust Creek has a way of changing city girls." That night, Clara sat at the ranch's long wooden table. The candles flickered as her aunt sipped tea. "You met the Ryder boys?" Evelyn asked, eyes sharp. "Yes, ma'am. They seemed polite." Evelyn let out a humorless laugh. "Polite? Those two are trouble wrapped in charm. They've broken more hearts than wild horses. Stay clear, Clara." Clara nodded, though her mind betrayed her, replaying the heat in Colt's eyes, the dangerous smile on Cash's lips. Days passed. Clara learned the rhythm of ranch life, the early mornings, the hay dust, the smell of horses and sun. She tried to keep her distance from the Ryder twins, but Dust Creek was small, and they seemed to appear wherever she went. Once, while she carried water to the corral, Colt appeared beside her, taking the bucket easily. "You're gonna wear yourself out," he said. "I'm not fragile," she muttered. He smirked. "Didn't say you were. But you ain't built for this land yet. Takes time. Patience." Their eyes met, and for a heartbeat, the air between them felt like lightning before rain. That night, Clara lay awake, listening to the coyotes cry beyond the hills, and to her own heart thundering in her chest. A week later, Evelyn left for town on business. That night, the wind turned wild, carrying a storm over the valley. Clara rushed outside to bring in the laundry, the rain cutting through her thin dress. Suddenly, a shout cut through the thunder. "Clara, get inside." It was Colt, running through the downpour. Behind him, Cash followed, lightning flashing across their soaked shirts. Before she could move, a gust of wind knocked her down, and the clothesline snapped, tangling around her. Colt was there in seconds, pulling her free, his hand on her waist. "You trying to drown yourself, city girl?" he shouted over the storm. I was just..." Cash's voice cut in lower, teasing. "She's got spirit, Colt. You sure the land won't eat her alive?" Clara glared, breathless. "You two talk too much." Colt grinned, still holding her close. "Maybe, but we do more than talk, sweetheart." The wind howled around them, rain like glass, but in that moment, all Clara could feel was the heat between their bodies. Two men born of the wild, and her, caught between them. The storm raged long into the night, but in Clara's heart, a different kind of thunder had begun. The sun rose red the next morning, burning away the last of the storm. Clara woke to the sound of laughter outside. The Ryder twins fixing a broken fence, shirts off, muscles shining with sweat. She tried not to stare. She failed miserably. Cash caught her watching and smirked. "Morning, Angel. You looking to help? Or just admire the view?" Her face flushed crimson. "I was just bringing breakfast." Colt grinned. "Then come on down, Miss Hart. We don't bite." Cash leaned closer, his voice a low drawl. "Not unless you ask us to." She nearly dropped the tray. By noon, the heat pressed heavy on the land. Clara helped mend the smaller fences, stubbornly proving she could keep up. When she cut her hand on a wire, Colt caught her wrist. "You're bleeding," he said. "It's nothing," she muttered. Cash appeared beside them, holding a clean rag. "You're too proud, darling. Let us help." Colt took her hand gently, his fingers rough but careful as he wrapped the cloth. "You got soft hands. Not made for work like this." Clara looked up, her breath catching. "Maybe I just need someone to teach me." Cash's grin widened. "Oh, we can teach you, sweetheart. But what we teach ain't all about fences." Her heart slammed against her ribs. "You two are impossible." Colt leaned in close, his voice a whisper. "Maybe, but you're curious." She said nothing, because he was right. That night, the twins invited her to the barn. "We got something to show you," Cash said. The barn glowed soft with lantern light. Inside stood a wild Mustang, trembling with power. "She's been untamed for months," Colt said, "but we're going to break her gentle together." Clara watched, mesmerized, as they worked, two bodies moving as one, calm, strong, perfectly in sync. Every motion was a conversation without words. When the horse finally bowed her head and allowed the bridle, Clara gasped softly. Colt turned to her. "You see, two hands, one body. That's how we move. That's how we live." Cash's eyes burned in the lantern glow. "That's how we treat you, Clara. Not one of us, but both protecting. Guidin. Holden." Her breath trembled. "You shouldn't say things like that." Colt smiled slowly, then stopped listening so close. The air grew thick between them, the sound of the horse fading to silence. Clara took a step back, torn between fear and something wilder, something that felt like the open sky itself. "I don't know what you want from me," she whispered. Cash's voice was deep as thunder. "We don't want to own you, darling. We just want to make you feel alive." Her lips parted, but before she could speak, footsteps crunched outside. Her aunt's voice called, sharp and cold. "Clara." She froze. The spell broke. The twins exchanged a look, half regret, half promise. Colt whispered, "Not tonight, but soon." As Clara hurried out, her heart raced faster than the horses in the corral. The next morning, Evelyn scolded her for being out late. "Those Ryder boys will ruin you if you let them," she warned. But Clara only smiled faintly, her mind still echoing with Colt's words. "Two hands, one body yours." Days passed, but the fire the twins had kindled inside her never dimmed. Every glance, every stolen touch in passing felt like lightning waiting to strike. And one evening, as the sun sank over Dust Creek, painting the land in fire and gold, Clara rode out alone toward the north pasture. There, waiting by the fence, stood Colt and Cash, their silhouettes framed against the dying light. She dismounted, her pulse wild. Colt stepped forward, his hand gentle on her cheek. "You came." Cash smiled. "Told you, brother. The land always calls back what it claims." Clara looked from one to the other. Two men so different, yet bound as one. She finally whispered, "Maybe I'm tired of fighting what this place is making me feel." Colt's voice was low. "Then stop fighting, sweetheart. Let the land and us show you what it means to belong." As the wind swept across the plains, she closed her eyes, letting the wild take her, not as a girl lost from the city, but as a woman found by the land. And somewhere in that vast, golden silence, she realized the truth. She hadn't just come to Dust Creek to start over. She had come to be claimed by it,